Okay, well that was fairly quick. I only waited about a minute, and it turns out that it it did seem to go ahead and start working. It's about 37 megabytes of archives, 144 megabytes of additional disk space. So probably a little bit less than the other one. I don't recall how much it was using on LXD, but it looks like it's moving a little faster. And you can even see the progress bar at the bottom in classic ANSI, or 34%. So, I mean, it'll probably take like 5 or 6 minutes at least for this part, but or maybe less, but it is, I think it is definitely moving faster than LXDE. So even for something like Diet Pi, even though LXDE will probably run acceptably, you can really squeeze more performance by using like a really minimalistic window manager. I mean, there are even smaller ones like DWM or TWM, but you know, to have something a little bit more interactive, you know, you can, where you have like more window, you can move the windows around rather than just having them like locked in like a quadrant or something. So yeah, this actually might already be done. So I'm gonna go ahead and try StartX and we'll see what happens. StartX. Okay, I don't think it's actually ready yet. Maybe I have to log in first. Or it's still working. Log in. Root. Okay. Maybe I didn't install it. Start. Pi launcher. Memory 27.8 megabytes, which is quite a bit less. That's about 50 megabytes less than LXDE. System D. Exit. F10. Oh, I was already escaped there. I might have it installed, I just don't know what happened. I might want to restart it here. Let's see what happens. It was too good to be true. It didn't take very long to install, so it might not have finished the installation, or maybe it just didn't. Maybe it's not compatible, I don't know. Running. Yeah, I don't know if it really installed it or not. Install, remove. Even if it is installed, it's not appearing on there. Yeah, software. I don't know how to load this. FL. Okay, I'm gonna try something else here. So it's possible that you need actually FLWM. I assume that FLTK is part of FLWM, but I could be wrong. I get them mixed up. Exit Diet Pi Launcher. Oh, that was from before. I'm assuming it's just trying to load and search for it. I hope I don't have to type update it again, but I did skip that step on this instruction. It was very similar to the other one. And this is from, this article doesn't have a date, but it's a tutorial from Ubuntu, so it could be very similar. I mean, it might be from the same dependency. Okay, it looks like it is installing. Need to get 39.2 KB, so that's good. Okay, so it says preparing to unpacking, setting up, update dash alternatives, using userbin FLWM to provide userbin X window manager and auto mode. Okay, maybe it will run if I press start X. I know so little, and I figured it wouldn't just load like that. I may have to install some other. So, okay, to compile FLWM, you need FLTK library, which I did already install. And beyond that, I don't know if I'm missing anything else, or if I just haven't initialized it. Well, I could restart it, but I don't know if that's going to work necessarily, or if that's needed. Login. I think I already was at root, but start X. Yeah, start WM. That probably not gonna work. Okay, start how to boot FLWM. Oh, Xorg maybe? Sudo apt get sudo apt get Xorg sudo apt get install get install Xorg. So according to TinyCore Linux forum, you need Xorg, FLWM, aterm, and wbar. So I suppose I could just try all those. Xorg. I thought I already had it, or I assumed it already did, but maybe LXDE kind of includes everything, but when you install like non-typical packages, it probably doesn't include it. Well, maybe I'll get lucky. I still have a couple more to go. I have to install Aterm and WBAR, so I mean, it might be kind of pointless to press Start X, but I'm not sure if that works for all Windows after you have all the packages in, or if that was just for LXDE, but I would think it would work for other things. So I would have thought that I already installed some of these, but maybe I didn't, or maybe it didn't finish last time. And also, I'm checking if the other ones were already on there. I don't know if it's actually installing or not. Suggested packages. I probably should wait a little bit longer. I don't want to interrupt it. I'm kind of curious what was not installed. Okay, I did press enter, but I don't think I had to do that. I think it was already processing, but hopefully it didn't interrupt anything. libwayland. So it is installing quite a few from X11. Oh, just a little bit longer to wait here. Last time it didn't take very long, so. So, interestingly enough, the forum that I found was actually one that I posted myself. So, it's kind of ironic, or just I happen to be the only person that had the same question. Well, not the same, not the only, but this was almost 2 years ago that I found this forum post. I was able to get TinyCore on the Raspberry Pi 3, but this one's going to be okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for this to finish. I don't know if it really finished the last time, so maybe I interrupted it. Okay, so it downloaded. Now it needs to unpack. Okay, it's moving along. Well, it is still moving forward here. But I don't remember how far it got last time or if it went through this. So I could be right around the same, but it could be getting a little further, so I'm cautiously optimistic. I can't really even imagine what it would be like to run FLTK on Diet Pie. I'm assuming that all the menus will be available. In TinyCore, it's if you right-click on it, you'll get to see like what you have installed. But in this case, there's not really a whole lot installed. Which, not that I want it, but it's slightly different than having like the start menu, because you don't really get to see all your options. You kind of have to right-click it, but other than that, it's still a lot faster to use. I mean, it's overall quite similar, other than maybe accessing your like wireless utility. I think there's like a menu option for that and the right click, but I'm curious if it will be similar to TinyCore or not. But I would imagine it would run quite a bit faster. Before it was only at 25 megabytes with DietPi, which I did not check before, since I went ahead and installed LXDE right after installing DietPi last week, or 2 weeks ago. So, created Symlink, disabled, not starting it. So, setting up emulator, auto mode, setting up, processing triggers. Okay, I don't remember how far I got last time. So it is possible that it completed. I just don't know if I want to go ahead and press anything or allow it to keep going. Start X. Before I press anything, I think I'll just wait another minute just in case it is doing something, but start X terminal maybe, or LX term. Man.db is a disabled unit, so if I knew what all these things meant, I probably would be able to determine if it's working or not. So there is a green light on the Raspberry Pi, and I'm not sure if it's just due to activity or if it's just idle and it's not really, usually it'll stay on, but so I may get the same thing as before, command not found. Nope, I'm wrong. It looks like I was able to install FLTK or FLWM on the Diet Pi, and I am kind of impressed because I know very little about computers, at least when it comes to command line. I'm kind of just guessing in the dark here. But it looks like I have gotten FLTK, and actually I think I already loaded it because there really isn't anything. So I'm going to right click. Okay, maybe it's still loading because I right clicked and it didn't do anything. But that is pretty impressive for a Diet Pi. I mean, okay, so here we are. New Xterm, new desktop. So yeah, that's really all I was looking for. I was just looking for something super minimalistic. Like, I like to move the windows around. Like, I don't like the command line that much because it's kind of rigid, of course, but having something like this is really cool because it really shows you how, fast your computer is. So if I were to load up HTOP, for example, it still is in the window and you can maximize it. But if you look at the memory, it's at 51 megabytes. When I was using LXDE, I mean, it wasn't, 100 megabytes, but it was like 90 megabytes. But overall, I mean, if you're using